Happy Monday. My phone is at 43 degrees. It is 91 degrees. And it is 10:19. And I'm listening to First Wave. Shocker. I'm always on chill. I don't know. Let me turn this down. I do not know what's going on with me. Okay, for one, I don't feel well. And secondly, I don't think I care right now. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, the counseling is not working again. Oh, great. Somebody else is leaving, and I hope they don't back out with me, because I'm leaving. Hang on, you all, because I'm afraid this guy's going to come, he's a really reckless driver. Oh, my stomach hurts. I think I'm going to have to look for, gluten-free items, because lately everything is, irritating my stomach. Everything. So, there's another one we can add to the list. Lactose intolerant, and what's the other one? Oh, intolerant to eggs, and now gluten. Good grief. There's not going to be anything left for me to eat soon. I was going to talk about something else, and here I go again. I lose my train of thought, and I really need to go see a PCP, because I was doing some research. And at my last appointment with the NP, with the gyno/NP, told me that I was producing too much iron. I was gonna say red blood cells. I keep saying red blood cells, and it's not red blood cells, man. For the love of God. I'm just making too much iron. My blood's making too much iron, right? So I was like, I never heard of such a thing. I used to be anemic. Where's this coming from? I don't comprendo, right? And so I'm like, all right, so what do I need to do? How do I fix this? She's like, go donate blood. Go do it every so often, and then when we do their next blood work, I'll check to see if you're good. You won't have to do it anymore, but for now, go donate some blood. I've yet to do it, because I'm like, you know what, I think I'd rather get a second opinion from a regular PCP, because like I said, I was anemic for a very long time, and this is the first I ever hear that I have too much iron in my blood. But anyhow, I think I found somebody that I would like to visit. Dr. H had recommended someone, and I was reading the reviews, and I was like, no, thank you. And then I was watching Christina Randall, and she was promoting one of her sponsors called ZocDoc, where you can look up a doctor, you can see the reviews and everything, actual patient reviews. And I found one, a female, which is another plus, and she had really good reviews. I've yet to call her, but I'm going to make an effort to call her either this week, so that I can schedule something for next week. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to call. I need to make an effort to call and actually get some real blood work done and everything else. Here's my thing, though. Let's go back to the red blood cells. When you're producing too much... Damn it, I did it again. Not red blood cells. Iron, Moon. Iron. Okay, so Iron. That sounds like a group. Iron Moon. Coming up next, Sweet Dreams by Iron Moon. Right? That sounds like a... Anyway, okay, so when you're producing too much iron in your blood, or your blood's producing too much iron, however you want to say it can actually throw your A1C off. And I was like, wait, what? Really? And I was like, oh my gosh, what if that is what's causing this type 2 diabetes? Because yes, I was pre-diabetic at one time. And now supposedly I am, and I refuse to believe it, but supposedly I have type 2 now, right? And here I was trying to figure out, what's going on, and I think I found the culprit. So now this isn't for everybody. Don't think that just because you have diabetes, oh, Moon said it's because maybe I have too much iron in my blood. No, this isn't for everybody. Always get checked, and then use your discernment. Okay, let me get comfortable here. I am not comfortable at all. Okay. And what brought all this on is I saw a commercial on YouTube, and they were talking about what did he call it? Endorphin? No. Oh my Lord, what did he call it? Endomorph. Some kind of term, endomorph, I believe is what he called it. And it's a guy that promotes exercising and diet plans and all that he works for the stars, blah, 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 right? And he was talking about the 3 culprits, which is insulin resistance, cortisol, and hormonal. And I was ChatGPTing about it, and ChatGPT's like, there's no medical term called endomorph, if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, those could be, some factors. And so then I started thinking like, well, I am insulin resistant because they said that I have type 2 diabetes. Cortisol, obviously, because I'm always under a lot of stress. And hormones, we're already fully aware that they're whacked. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm thinking about giving blood sometime this week. It's not going to show up on my blood work, though, if I have an appointment on Wednesday, and I think they're going to do blood work that day. And if they do, it's not going to show up yet that I'm good, because I haven't given blood yet, obviously. But yeah, I want to try all that before I actually go to this new PCP that I'm planning on going to. And she decides to tell me the same thing. Oh, no, your A1Cs. See, that's what really bugs me about doctors. They don't go into detail about all that. They don't bring up your hormones, your cortisol. They just bring up, oh, your A1Cs are off. You're diabetic. Yeah, you're going to need insulin. You're going to need metformin. Or would you rather do Ozempic? They just want to throw these harsher medications at you that are going to make you worse. And I've been there. And I just felt it in my spirit, like, this isn't good. Like, especially with the Rebosis horror story that I had for you all. This isn't good. I'm like, this isn't for me. Like, this is not for me. It's not that I'm in denial. I'm just not, I don't feel it in my spirit that this is what's causing all this in my body. And, when I mentioned the hormones thing, I had started my HRT journey, and I was talking about that, and I was so excited, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, right? And it was because I got fed up with the NP, right? She kept treating me with the same thing that she uses to treat everybody else, like putting this all in one package, and this is the one cure-all for all, right? And I didn't like that. So I went to a specialist, an actual gynecologist, because the NP is more of longevity. This one's an actual gynecologist. Surely he can help me, right? And I was so happy, so excited with Dr. H. I was speaking so highly of him and everything. And he could be a very good gyno if you're pregnant. Or, maybe for other things. But the first question I asked when I got an appointment with him was, does he do HRT? And I should have known better when the reception it says, what is that? That was a huge red flag, but I was just like, well, hormonal therapy. And she's like, oh, yes, he does that too. I'm like, okay, great. When can I get an appointment? And she got me an appointment right away and everything. And I was so excited. And I went to go see him. And then he tells me, oh, no. I don't believe in testosterone. No, I'm not a believer in that. Everything else, yes, but not that. And I was like, well, okay. He's a gyno. He's a specialist. I'm going to go with whatever he says, Okay. We won't do the testosterone. It has been about 3 to 4 months without testosterone, and I can tell you right now that little by little I have been feeling so depleted. Now, before I would get these little bursts of energy, right? I was taking my vitamin B12. It would help me out a lot. Then all of a sudden I noticed that when I would take the B12, I would get really sick from my stomach. So it was recommended that I start taking it every other day rather than every day. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll try that. So I started doing that, and that helped a lot. But however, as I spoke about right now, like all these other factors that are coming in now, like, oh my goodness, like, what do I do here? And I'll get into that in a moment. But, the NP had already recommended estradiol cream, estradiol patch. So, granted, she did give me a very high dosage in the patch, which was making me sick as well. So he lowered it, and I'm doing way better. I had to go buy some kind of bandage to put on top of the patch so the patch won't fall off, because it happened after 2 days, and I'm just like, oh, you're kidding me, So I'm gonna have to do that, and I'm wearing it right now, and it's kind of itchy. It's uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, it is uncomfortable to wear that clear like band-aid on top. It's not exactly a band-aid. I forgot what you call it. It's water resistant wound cover or something like that. And I got it at the CVS, and very pricey. There's only 8, and they are like $10. But luckily that day that I got them, I had a coupon for $4 off. So CVS is becoming my friend now. And anyhow, so I'm doing that. And I was really disappointed last time that he didn't do a follow-up on me, a follow-up checkup after I told him my concerns. And listen, I'm not saying he's an awful doctor. He is attentive. He does listen to you. However, he's a type of doctor that is going to do what he wants, not what you want. And that is a deal breaker for me. If I am expressing to him, I want testosterone injections, and he keeps rejecting it, it's time for me to move on. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to fight him or you or anybody for it. Yeah, I need to move on from here. This isn't working. you know? And so, okay, let's start recording. And so, I got really upset last week on Wednesday. And actually, I called Tuesday first. I called Tuesday and I told, whoever answered. And that little, I think I know who that little medical assistant is. And she was super nice to me the first day that I went. And then now all of a sudden she's gotten kind of bitchy with me. She's got an attitude, in other words. And I'm like, oh, no. This isn't going to work, But anyhow, I had spoken to her first. And I told her, yeah, I wanted to know if Dr. H can prescribe me, some testosterone cream. I know he's not a believer of it. I've already seen him before about it. I've talked to him about it. I was just there about a week ago. And I'm just going to keep advocating for myself and push for it. If you could please prescribe me some testosterone cream. And she's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get with him and then I'll call you back. And I said, okay. She called me back the next morning and she left me a message telling me that I would have to be seen to discuss it. And so, of course, and then she says, oh yeah, I would have to be seen to discuss it at my next follow-up appointment, which is not until the 17th or 18th. And I was just like, what? And so then I called back and I was just like, ma'am, why does he need to see me again? He just saw me. And I said, it's pointless, for me to have to pay to see him again when I just saw him the week before and I discussed this very thing with him and he didn't want to do it. So I'm asking him one more time, for myself, if I could have this cream and if he can prescribe it. And then she's like, well, that's something you can bring up to him when you see him on the 18th, blah, 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 right? And I was just like, I told her this really upsets me because I am advocating for myself. I know what my body needs. I know what it was used to getting already. I'm trying to get my hormones balanced. Every time I come here, I am getting charged with my copay, and you all are charging my insurance, and I'm not getting the help that I need. And she's like, well, that's something you would have to discuss with him when you come in, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? Just go ahead and cancel my appointment. Just cancel my appointment. I will not be going. Thank you. I said goodbye, and I hung up. So, needless to say, I called the NP office back, and I told them I would like an appointment to discuss testosterone cream. Would you believe that right away they're like, absolutely. When can you come in? Can you come in on this day at this time? Yes. I have an appointment tomorrow. So we'll see what's up there. We'll see what's up. We'll see what happens. If things don't go as planned as I think they will, well then there is another clinic that is right across the street from where I live where they actually work with hormone therapy as well. So I'm like, I'm going to just keep trying and looking for the right place, because, yeah, when your hormones are off, it throws everything else off. And here you're thinking, oh, I must have this, I have that, da, da, da. And it's all because of your freaking hormones. Those estrogen levels, they really mess with you. Those testosterone levels, they really mess with you. If they're both low, you're a mess. I hate to say it. I've been there. You're a mess. And so it makes me kind of sad because I really did like Dr. H. I would like to continue to see him. However, I don't know if I want to keep wasting money seeing him and not getting the help that I need. It would be a waste of money. It really would, because all we ever did was go into the examining room. I would sit there, he would talk to me, and that would be it. That would be the appointment. And I'm like, no, I need you to either do this or do that. Like this, what did I just pay for? I'm not paying you to see your pretty face. Not that I think you have, like at you like that, but about you, no, like I'm not in agreement with this appointment. I don't like where this is going. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna, no, it's not tomorrow. I'm sorry, tomorrow's barely Tuesday. It's on Wednesday. My appointment with the MP is on Wednesday. So we'll see how that goes. I was going to mention something else, and I said, I'll get to that in a minute. I already forgot what it is, because I just feel so blah. Oh, I think it was about the gluten intolerance, because, lately I've noticed a difference in my diet. If I eat, even if it's wheat bread, that's like even worse for me. I was eating white bread, and I was already feeling like kind of sick, and so I said maybe I need wheat bread. So I got wheat bread, and I felt worse today, and I'm pretty sure you could tell by how I sound. And then I did eat some oatmeal, which made it even 10 times worse, because I ended up in the bathroom all day today. And I'm just like, okay, you're kidding me. Like, I love oatmeal, and you're kidding me that I'm feeling like this. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to start tweaking my diet as well. And I don't even know what to eat. And right now my stomach still feels like blah. And it kind of hurts at the same time. I didn't even eat very much today because of it. And I do feel a little bit hungry right now, but I don't even want to try to eat anything, because I just don't feel good. I don't feel good. And it's so awful to go through life like this and not feeling good, And aside from the physical aspects that's bringing me down, there's also the mental. I had a really hard weekend. I really did. On Saturday, I was just like, no, I wasn't thinking about ending my life or anything like that, but I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And even the husband's like, that is the 4th time you tell me this. And then, of course, he's like, I'm doing everything I can for you, and I don't understand why you're being like this and this and this and that. And and it kind of made me feel like he was making it about himself, which he probably was, because I've spoken about this before. The husband is a narcissist. He is. He's a narcissist. He comes from a family of narcissists. And I feel like taking off the seatbelt. I feel like I can't breathe. A family of narcissists, and he's also a gaslighter, and he's really good at all of it, and so that wasn't making me feel any better. Sunday was like really bad, because we went to go see his parents, and every time we would go see his parents, it's like, here we go again. Like, oh, do I really have to go? I really don't want to go. I can love them from afar. Can I think nice thoughts about them? Because when we visit, I don't have nice thoughts about them, The outlaws, like my pastor would say, your in-laws. Pray for your in-laws and your outlaws. They are my outlaws. We were talking about my husband's daughter. He has 3 kids, right? 2 boys with one lady, 1 daughter with another lady. No judgment there. I know things happen, life happens. Anyhow, moving on. So I was mentioning how she had told me, because her and I do keep in contact a lot, his daughter and I, and she has 2 babies. So she's got the 2-year-old and she's got the 1-year-old. He just turned 1. They're both so cute, and they both look like the husband. I feel like they look like the husband. She looks like the husband, so the kids came out looking like this side of the family over here, right? Anyhow, one of them just started school, but last week she was telling me on how they got COVID, and I don't know where they picked it up, but the whole family was sick, and I was like, oh no. And we were kind of hoping to get together with them on Saturday so that we could take them to Peter Piper and celebrate the 1-year-old's birthday, because they celebrated his birthday the weekend prior, and the husband wasn't in town. So we decided to plan a surprise, like, hey, let's get together with them on Saturday at Peter Piper. We know the kids will enjoy it. They'll enjoy, the noise, the games, the lights, the pizza, We'll all love it. And plus, I've been wanting Peter Piper pizza forever already. But when she told me they were sick, I was like, oh, man, well, there goes that idea. So we didn't get to do that. And I was really disappointed, because I really wanted that Peter Piper pizza. But anyhow, and then I wonder why I get sick, right? Anyhow, so I mentioned to the mother outlaw, that, your granddaughter, she's got COVID. And so do the kids, and so does the husband, and her mother-in-law that lives there with them. They all got it. And she's like, well, I'm really shocked, because I know that she's very messy and I don't understand that. Her mom is nothing like that. Her mom was very, very clean. She's always been a very, very clean lady. And I'm sitting there like, what? And not that she was throwing it at me, by you. She wasn't saying, like, unlike you, you're dirty. No, she knows I'm always cleaning. You all know I'm always cleaning. I clean the apartment once a week. However, I know it wasn't from a bad... Look, this is what I'm trying to be positive. I know it wasn't from a bad place that she brought up my husband's ex-girlfriend, who is the mother of his daughter, right? I know I think what she was trying to say is that, it's weird that she turned out this way when her mother was very clean. However, I just think it was a really bad taste that she brought in the mother, and she has a habit of doing that. She has a habit of bringing in the mothers of my husband's adult children, okay? And she picked the wrong day to do that. I was barely getting over Saturday night, and then she did that on Sunday, and she picked the wrong day, the wrong time. Not that any time is ever a good time, or any day is ever a good time. Ow, my patches. But it just really talk about really, really bad timing, which is no surprise, being that the husband also has bad timing, but that's another story for another time, right? And so I told my husband about it afterwards, and I just calmly said, your mom, we were talking about this and this and that, and she brought this up, and the first reaction from is, which is not a surprise either, because he always says that, well, I didn't hear it. Well, no, I don't know what you were doing. I said, you were looking at something, trying to mess with the couch buttons there trying to get it to go up and down, that you missed it. But yeah, it was said. And he was like, well, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I can't say anything if I didn't hear it. And I'm like, here we go again. The infamous excuse, right? But I just said, well, you know what, husband? I'm actually really tired of that. I cannot allow that as a pass anymore. Just because you did not hear it did not mean it just didn't happen. It happened. And I'm letting you know right now that there's no more free passes on that. She's had years of doing this. We've been together for 16 years. And for 16 years, she brings up your ex-girlfriend, your ex-wife, the mothers of your children. And for 16 years, you have been in denial about it. And I'm putting my foot down. And I'm telling you right now, that's not going to be a free pass no more. I'm not going to let it go anymore. There's going to be a lot of changes in our relationship. I'm going to reiterate all of my boundaries with you and your family. And if neither one of you are in agreement with it, well, then there's going to be a problem. You know, there will be conflict, like Alpha says. Water break. So, yeah, you know, and that's what I spent. That's probably another reason why I don't even feel good right now and I feel so tired and exhausted. Because I spent my entire weekend reiterating every boundary. Because every time he comes home, it's the same test of my boundaries. And you all probably think like, man, well, you must be really uptight. You seem to have a problem with everybody. The neighbor, you know, sometimes you bring up the daughter-in-law, sometimes you bring up the in-law outlaws, sometimes the church buddy, you know, and now the husband again, and, you know, the sister-in-laws, your siblings, everybody. And I know a lot of people have that mentality where they're like, well, if everybody's a problem to you, then maybe they're not the problem. Maybe it's you. Trust me. I know I have my problems. I know I have my issues. I am working on that. I'm going to counseling. I'm getting help for that. I go to church. I'm getting spiritually fed. What are they doing? I have no control. And that's what people need to look at when they start blaming themselves. Like, well, maybe I'm the problem because everybody hates me and everybody's always like arguing with me or whatever, you know? But no, if you're going down the right path and sticking to it, then you're not the problem. It is actually them. And unfortunately, they all have the bad habits. And they're not spiritually connected. And they can tell you, oh yes, I believe in God. Okay, you believe in God, but do you practice His Word? Do you actually do what the Word says? You know? Because if you did, then you wouldn't be acting like this towards me. You wouldn't be pushing my boundaries after I just put my boundaries down. And they're not hard. None of my boundaries are, you must kiss thy butt anytime you see me. You must wait on me hand and foot anytime you see me. You know, you must tell me that I am beautiful when I enter the room. None of those are requirements. So what I'm asking for is not hard at all, but it seems to be hard for these people to follow through, you know? And so I'm just like, it's time to repeat him, you know? And stick to it. Stand your ground. I'm standing my ground. However, let me just say this. I'm standing my ground, but I also made a, what word do I want to use here? Why can't I ever think when I need to think? I threw in a deal there that's non-negotiable. I can't think of the word, so I'm saying it like that. Now, that deal is that I'm not going to keep repeating it. And if I see that things don't change, I am out. And I made it very clear that I need to protect my peace. I need to find my happiness. Any relationship should not be this much of a struggle. Whether it is a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, husband-wife relationship, or a BFF relationship, it should not be a struggle. You shouldn't have to always justify yourself, prove yourself, and state your case. All of those relationships should bring laughter. They should bring a peace. You should level each other out. You should have each other's back. And it shouldn't be hard to love one another. You know, sometimes when somebody makes it that difficult, you need to ask yourself if it's time to walk away. Like, I've done everything I could for this. I can't do anymore. I have nothing else to offer. I have no more tricks in my bag for you. Like, I'm done. And it's a question of, it's either my health or you. I'm going to choose my health because I actually have people that I am living for. Maybe you all don't give a crap if I live or not, but I have children that I'm living for. And grandchildren that I'm living for. And my partner in crime, Emily, that I'm living for. And of course, my emotional support animal who refuses to be my emotional support animal, my cat, Tabitha, who I love as my baby. But she can be kind of hateful. She can be kind of hateful. She would be one to tell me, yeah, you are the problem, you know? But she's mean. She's just mean. But anyway, jokes aside, no, really, like, I'm saying, you know, sometimes you just have to come to that decision. And you have to do what's best for yourself. Not what is best for the other person, but for you. And one thing that I've learned, and I'm going to end with this, is that if you're in a relationship where you find yourself like a codependent, and that is something that we covered on Sunday at church, which it blew me away because I was just like, how do they know? How do the pastors know? Saturday, I was telling the husband, I said, I feel like I'm not even living for me. I feel like I am living for you. and everything is dependent on you. And I don't like that feeling. Because where is my life? Where does my life fit in here? And now I know that it's called codependency. I had no idea that's what it was. I've heard of the term. I've heard people talk about it, but it would go in one ear and out the other because it wasn't me. Anybody out there? It wasn't you, right? And it's not necessarily that you're in denial, but you really thought in your heart of hearts, that's not me. I don't know what they're talking about. I can't relate. But once you start paying attention to the signs, and you can't figure out what's going on with me, why can't I think anymore? Why can't I be happy anymore? Why am I feeling like this? Then it's time. It's definitely time. You know, you need to start writing down your thoughts, do whatever it takes, and start really praying about it. In my case, the husband wants to continue trying. I'm giving it more time. There is no limit. It's unrealistic to say, okay, I'll give you 2 more weeks. But we will take it one day at a time and keep praying, you know, for the Lord to either close doors or open doors, and for healing to take place. And I'm just being very real. This is called Moon Diaries. I know there's a lot of channels out there with comments that, oh Lord, why are people sharing their personal life on YouTube? They shouldn't be doing that. You know, go talk to a friend or a counselor. Listen, everybody has a different way of coping with things. This is my way. At least it is for now. Because it's not just sharing my personal life. It's actually trying to reach others that are going through something like this. They may have stumbled on my channel and decided, let me listen to this chick. Let me listen to Moon Diaries. Let's see what that's all about. And it might light a fire in them and want to seek help. Or maybe they're relatable and they know that, okay, I'm not the only one going through this. There's actually somebody else going through this. I don't feel so bad now, because trust me, going through all this that I'm going through, there were days where I would feel like, am I the only one? Why is it that anytime I go anywhere, I see everybody else happy? I see couples that are happy, couples that are laughing, they're eating their food and they're enjoying their date, their time together. Even at the grocery store, going and you see a couple shopping together. And you're like, why do I feel so off? Why do I feel so different? Like I'm not fitting in here. It's not just you. There are seasons that people go through in life, and like I said, you just got to pray about it. And you know, and I don't encourage this, but if you don't believe in God, pray to your higher power then. Whoever your higher power is, wherever it is that you're seeking guidance. I don't judge you on that. Because I've always said, and you all know this, those of you that have heard me this long, I've always said, it is your soul. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. It's your soul. But pray about it. All right? So if you made it this far, thank you for listening. And I really love you all. I care about each and every one of you. This is why I share my life with you. So please do not tell me not to share my life. Not that anybody ever has, but I'm just saying. And I will talk to y'all again soon. Bye.